Today, my dear and cute friends, I have brought a motivational video especially for you. Life is a journey full of challenges, struggles, and endless opportunities. We all face moments when we feel low, but it is in those moments that we must remind ourselves of our true strength. This video is not just a combination of words. It is a spark meant to ignite the fire of confidence and determination within you. I assure you, if you listen and watch carefully, and apply even a small part of what I share today, you will definitely gain knowledge, inspiration, and hope. Friends, I want you to pause for a moment and think about your life. Think about all the noise around you, the expectations of society, the opinions of relatives, the constant scroll of social media, and the endless comparisons with others. Everywhere you look, someone is telling you what you should do, what you must become, and how far behind you already are. But let me tell you this, the greatest victory you will ever achieve in your life will not come from competing with others. It will come from competing with yourself. The title of today's message is Focus on Yourself and Shock Everyone. And believe me, when you decide to turn the spotlight inward, to stop chasing validation and instead chase your own growth, you will create results so powerful, so undeniable, that the world will have no choice but to stop and take notice. The Roman philosopher Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic thinkers, once wrote in his journal, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." These sentences were not empty words. This was the Emperor of Rome reminding himself that the secret of strength lies not in controlling others, but in controlling the self. Every time you stop worrying about what people think, every time you decide to pour energy into your own growth instead of wasting it on critics, you are practicing what the wisest people in history already knew. Focusing on yourself is the foundation of greatness. Think of Mahatma Gandhi. He did not set out to shock the world by leading the largest nonviolent movement in history. He began by focusing on self-discipline, his diet, his habits, his daily reflections. Gandhi knew that if he could master himself, he could inspire others. And indeed, he shocked not just a nation, but the entire world. Think of Maya Angelou, the great poet and writer. She once said, "Success is liking yourself, liking what you do, and liking how you do it." Notice her words. Success is not about the world's applause, but about inner alignment. She focused on her voice, her craft, her truth. The result? Generations continue to read her words with admiration. Or take Steve Jobs, the visionary behind Apple. He was once fired from his own company. Imagine the humiliation. But instead of chasing approval or revenge, he focused on his creativity, his innovation. He started Next and Pixar. He sharpened his skills. When he returned to Apple, he shocked everyone by building one of the greatest companies the world has ever seen. The more you chase approval, the more powerless you become. The more you focus on others, the less energy you have for yourself. The American writer Ralph Waldo Emerson said, "To be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment." He didn't say the greatest accomplishment is to have millions of followers. He didn't say it's to outshine your neighbor. No, he said it is simply to be yourself. And that is where your true strength lies. When you focus on yourself, you don't need to announce your plans to the world. You don't need to defend your dreams against doubters. You simply build, you simply work, you simply grow. And one day, The same people who doubted you will look at your transformation in disbelief. Friends, people will laugh at you when you start. They will say your dreams are too big, your efforts are too small. They will remark you crazy, unrealistic, and even arrogant. But here is what I want you to remember: your focus will silence them far louder than your words ever can. The great motivational speaker Les Brown often reminds us, don't let someone else's opinion of you become your reality. If you live your life trying to prove yourself to others, you will always feel empty. But if you live your life proving something to yourself, you will always feel fulfilled. That is why, starting today, I want you to make a decision. A decision that says, I will not waste my life explaining myself to people who do not understand my journey. I will not measure my worth by likes, comments, or fleeting applause. I will focus on my growth, my discipline, my dreams. And when you do that, when you commit to yourself, get ready, because one day you will shock everyone. Let's talk about the big enemy of focus. That is called distraction. We live in an era where distraction has become an integral part of life. Social media feeds are designed to keep you scrolling, and advertisements are designed to prompt you to purchase. Society is designed to encourage you to compare. Each time you look outside yourself, you slip away a little bit of your power. But here is the truth. The world belongs to the focused. The writer Henry David Thoreau moved to Walden Pond for 2 years, living in simplicity and silence. People considered him to be running from life. But in reality, he was discovering it. He focused on himself, on his thoughts, and from that silence came a book, Walden, which continues to motivate people centuries later. You don't have to go live in the woods to practice this. All you need to do is learn to silence the noise around you. Switch off the phone when it doesn't serve your growth. Limit conversations with people who drain your energy. Protect your mornings and evenings from meaningless chatter. Because here's the secret. When you reduce external noise, your inner voice becomes clear. No one has ever shocked the world without discipline. Not one. The legendary speaker Jim Rohn said, "Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment." And he was right. Talent without discipline is wasted. Dreams without discipline are fantasies. Think of Arnold Schwarzenegger. Before he was a Hollywood star or a governor, he was just a boy from Austria with a dream. People laughed at his accent, his physique, and his ambition. But Arnold focused. Day after day, he trained with discipline, turning his body into a masterpiece. His discipline shocked the bodybuilding world, then the film industry, and later, even politics. Or take J.K. Rowling. She wrote the first Harry Potter manuscript while struggling as a single mother. Publishers rejected her again and again, but she kept writing. She kept focusing. She disciplined herself to create, even in the midst of hardship. Today, every child knows about her story, every parent and every reader. She surprised and shocked the entire literary world through perseverance. Why consistency matters more than talent. Let me share a powerful truth. You don't need to be the most talented person in the room. You just need to be the most consistent. Look at Thomas Edison, who failed thousands of times before inventing the electric bulb. Thousands. People made fun of him. People called him a failure. But Edison responded, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." His consistency lit up the entire world, literally. Now consider about Colonel Sanders, founder of KFC. At the age of 65, he was broken and rejected more than 1,000 times as he tried to sell his chicken recipe. But he kept going. He focused on himself and his vision. Today, his recipe is known across the globe. He didn't just shock his critics. He shocked time itself by starting a global empire at an age when most people give up. Every great person you admire today once faced laughter, doubt, and rejection. Oprah Winfrey was told she wasn't fit for television. Today, she is the most influential media figure in history. Albert Einstein was considered sluggish in school, even dismissed by teachers. Today, his name is synonymous with genius. Nelson Mandela lived 27 years in prison. Did he give up? No. He focused on his principles, his vision, his inner strength. When he walked free, he shocked the world by uniting a divided nation. Each of these people chose not to waste energy on doubters. Instead, they turned criticism into fuel, pain into strength, and rejection into redirection.
Here's something most people don't realize. The best revenge is not argument, it is achievement. You don't have to post about your grind daily. You don't have to proclaim your struggles or your victories. Just work in quietly. Build in silence. Grow in silence. Because silence has a way of making your success roar even louder. As Benjamin Franklin wisely remarks, well done is better than well said. Therefore, don't worry about using words to prove yourself. Show off your abilities with outcomes. Additionally, if you maintain your discipline, if you stay consistency, the world won't simply notice, you'll leave them stunned. One day, the same people who doubted you will say, "I always believed in you." And that's when you'll know you have shocked them, not by talking, but by transforming. A challenge for you. So, I challenge you today. Stop chasing applause. Stop arguing with critics. Stop explaining your dreams to small minds. Instead, focus on your craft. Focus on your health. Focus on your discipline. Focus on your purpose. You see, when you truly start focusing on yourself, something powerful happens. People stop recognizing you. Not because you disappear but because you return as a stronger, wiser, unshakable version of yourself. And that transformation, that QUIET, relentless transformation, is what shocks everyone. Most people live for appearances. They spend energy trying to successful, instead of be eco-ming successful all. They buy things they can't afford to impress people don't even car e. They exhaust themselves in competition it doesn't matter. But you are different. When you focus inward, you shift your energy from trying to impress others to actually improving yourself. And one day, when you walk into a room, the very people who ignored you will not be able to take their eyes off you. That is not arrogant that is transformation. The great author James Allen, in his classic book As a Ma en Thinketage, said, "Men are anxious to improve their circumstances, but are unwilling to improve themselves. They therefore remain bound." When you focus on improving yourself, you break those chains. You rise while others remain stuck. And that rise, that elevation, shocks everyone who thought you would remain ordinary. Let me tell you something, your pain is not your enemy, it is your raw material. Every struggle, every rejection, every heartbreak, it is fuel. But only if you use it. Take Malala Yousafzai, a young girl from Pakistan who was attacked for simply wanting an education. That pain could have broken her spirit. But she focused on herself, on her voice, on her vision. She turned her pain into power. Today, she is the youngest Nobel Peace Prize laureate and a global symbol of courage. Think of Nick Vujicic, born without arms and legs. Imagine the pain, the despair. But instead of giving up, he focused on what he could do, speak, inspire, and lead. Today, he travels the world, reminding millions that limitations are only in the mind. His very existence shocks those who ever doubted the power of human spirit. Or consider Michael Jordan. Did you know he was cut from his high school basketball team? That humiliation could have ended his dream. Instead, Jordan turned that pain into fuel. He trained harder, pushed himself further, and became one of the greatest athletes in history. His focus transformed rejection into legend. The silent growth principle, I tell you. Here is the secret most people never learn. Real growth happens in silence. A seed grows underground before it breaks the surface. Muscles grow in rest after the pain of exercise. Wisdom grows in solitude before it shines in public. In the same way, your growth will not be visible at first. You will be studying while others party. You will be working out while others sleep. You will be investing in yourself while others waste time. They won't see it now, but they will see it later. And when they do, they'll be shocked. The great motivational speaker Eric Thomas once said, "When you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful." Notice, he didn't say when you want to show off your success. He said when you want it deeply inside yourself. Silent work. Relentless discipline. That's the formula. Why people get shocked by your success. You know why people get shocked when you rise? Because they only remember the old you. They remember your mistakes, your failures, your weaknesses. They built an image of you in their minds, and they expect you to stay that way forever. But when you transform, when you come back stronger, sharper, unstoppable, you break that image. You show them that you are not bound by your past. And that's what shocks them the most. Take Nelson Mandela. To many, he was just a prisoner. But when he walked out of jail, he didn't come back as the broken man they expected. He came back as a leader, a reconciler, a symbol of freedom. The world was shocked, not by his anger, but by his strength of forgiveness. Or think of Abraham Lincoln. Before becoming one of the greatest presidents in American history, he faced countless failures, business failures, election defeats, personal tragedies. People expected him to remain defeated. But he kept growing in silence, building resilience. When he rose to lead a divided nation, his strength shocked even his harshest critics. Remember this, you don't have to announce your transformation. Your life will announce it for you. One day, people will ask, "How did you do it? Where did this strength come from? When did you become this person?" And you will smile, because you know the answer. It came from the long nights of focus, the silent hours of practice, the tears you turned into fuel, the rejection you turned into determination. That's how you shock the world. Not with sudden fame, not with empty noise, but with undeniable growth that no one can ignore. The path ahead. Friends, focusing on yourself is not selfish, it is necessary. Because when you build yourself, when you strengthen your mind, when you sharpen your skills, you don't just change your life, you inspire others. Think of Martin Luther King Jr. His focus on his vision didn't just change him, it changed an entire movement. Think of Mother Teresa. Her focus on compassion didn't just make her extraordinary, it shocked the world into remembering the power of kindness. When you grow, the world benefits. When you shine, the world sees hope. And when you shock everyone, you remind them of what is possible. My friends, you have walked with me through this journey of self-focus. You have heard the wisdom of great thinkers, the stories of leaders, the lessons of dreamers who turned obstacles into stepping stones. Now it is your turn. Too many people are waiting, waiting for approval, waiting for luck, waiting for the right time. But let me tell you a secret, the right time will never come. If you wait for others to believe in you, you will wait forever. If you wait for conditions to be perfect, you will die waiting. The only permission you need is the one you give yourself. As William Ernest Henley wrote in his timeless poem Invictus, "I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul." Those words are not just poetry, they are a declaration. A declaration that your destiny is in your hands, not in the hands of critics, doubters, or even circumstances. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine. Imagine the day when you walk into a room and the people who once ignored you now stand in awe. Imagine the day when the ones who laughed at your dreams now whisper your name with respect. That day will come. And when it does, you won't even need to say a word. Your transformation will speak for you. They will see the discipline in your eyes. They will feel the confidence in your presence. They will know, without you telling them, that you have become unstoppable. And you'll realize something even more powerful. Shocking them was never the true goal. The true goal was transforming yourself. The shock is just a byproduct of your growth. So today, I ask you to make a promise. Not to me, but to yourself. Promise that you will guard your focus like a treasure. Turn your pain into fuel. Work in silence, and let your success make the noise. Stay disciplined even when no one is watching. Never let someone else's opinion define your reality. Because when you do, you will rise. You will transform. And one day, you will shock everyone, not with arrogance, but with undeniable greatness. Let me leave you with the wisdom of Mahatma Gandhi, who said, "First they ignore you, then they laugh at you, then they fight you, then you win." And with the fire of Les Brown, who reminds us, you don't have to be great to get started, but you have to get started to be great. So get started. Start today. Start now. Focus on yourself, your growth, your discipline, your purpose. And when the world least expects it, you will rise from the shadows into the light. And in that moment, everyone will be shocked, not by what you said, not by what you posted, but by what you became. Because you, my friend, are destined for greatness. And your time is now.